Hey everybody, this is Erica, the technology nerd who likes to film stuff, and I'm taking a look at the Galaxy S6 Edge Plus. This should be a shorter video because there really isn't too much to talk about. There really aren't too many changes. So the lowdown is that this really is just a big Galaxy S6 Edge, and it has a larger display. It's also got a little bit more RAM, 4 gigabytes of RAM versus 3 gigabytes, and that's really it. That is at least on the hardware side. The other stuff is a little bit of software updates. So my experience with holding this device is that it does still feel edgy, just like it does with the regular Galaxy S6 Edge. It's not incredibly comfortable to hold, although in this bigger form factor, I think this phone looks more stunning. Here we have it next to the Galaxy S6. You can see that it's really not all that much bigger. The impressive thing is how they are fitting that 5.7-inch display into a not too much bigger body. So here you can really see the difference of sizes between the 5.1-inch display and the 5.7. It really is quite a change in size of display. I kind of feel like this is the device they should have released initially instead of having the smaller one. So starting at the top, we have the 5-megapixel camera, then we've got our home button, and we've got our capacitive buttons. On the left-hand side, we have the volume buttons. Then on the bottom we have our headphone jack, we've got our micro USB port microphone, and also our speaker, just like we have on the regular one. Then on the right hand side is that power button. On the top we have our SIM card slot and another microphone. Sadly now we are missing the IR blaster, that is bye-bye. Then on the back we have the 16 megapixel camera, f1.9 lens, the same camera that we have on the Galaxy S6 and on the S6 Edge. I don't know if it's going to have the ISOCELL or Sony sensors, or if there's going to be again a discrepancy between the sensors. Now on the software side, we have the addition of Apps Edge, where you can choose 5 applications to go on the Edge alongside the People Edge. That's really not too huge or phenomenal, not too much of a change. Underneath the Edge screen settings, you are free to edit Apps Edge at will. You can put any app that you would like there. You can change the position of the Edge screen depending on your handedness. So if you're left-handed, you can have it on the left-hand side. And of course, if you are right-handed, you can keep it on the right-hand side as by default. We now have the ability to change the position of the Edge screen handle. So if you want it to be more towards the bottom of the screen or the top of the screen, you're free to change the position as you would like. So now when I go to activate the Edge screen, it will be as exactly where I want it to be. Otherwise, from what I can see with this menu, all the other Edge type features are exactly the same as what we have on the S6 Edge. Taking a bit of a look at the display, this is 518 pixels per inch, about that, versus the 577 that we have on the S6 Edge. It still looks really sharp. You still can't tell that this is a Pentile diamond matrix display. It looks really good to me. And in terms of the calibration and the colors, they look just like they do on the S6 and S6 Edge. Now, in my own experience and in my opinion, I have found that I tend to like the curve with this larger display. I feel it that way because I feel like I have a larger surface area that's flat rather than curved. This almost makes the curve a little bit more subtle to me, although we still do have the glare at the curves, which can be a little bit distracting when you are watching content. The same complaint that I had with the S6 Edge is that we still have that bit of color shifting at the edges. It's not really bad though. Samsung is hoping that consumers see that with this bigger display it's more immersive, and that curve gives a little bit of a 3D effect, so it pops out at you more. They're definitely trying to showcase that here. As for performance, this device is very fast, very zippy. It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM instead of 3, so we'll have to see what that means in terms of the RAM management and the aggressive shutting down of apps. Haven't really had a chance to play with that yet. Now in terms of the SoCs here, we can see that on my S6 and on the S6 Edge Plus, it's got the 7420, same frequencies, same GPU. Everything is the same here really, except for the extra RAM. We've also got a bigger battery in the S6 Edge Plus over its smaller predecessor. So this is 3,000 milliamp hours versus 2,600, really not a huge change. And since that display is bigger from 5.1 inches to 5.7, I'm expecting the battery life to be somewhere around that same ballpark. And as most of us know, the Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge did not have the best of battery life, so we'll just have to see what happens here. Just like with the Galaxy Note 5, we do have faster inductive charging. You can charge from 0 to 100% in 2 hours, which is still a long time if you think about it, because it has to be sitting consecutively on that mat for those 2 hours to charge to 100%. But we still have the Samsung Adaptive Fast Charging, so this should charge up pretty quickly, once you plug it in, that is. Overall, though, I think that if I have not purchased the S6 Edge yet, and I want one, I would probably go for this one. It's got a little bit of extra features. That extra large display is really nice to have. This is the one I would go for if I wanted an S6 Edge. Honestly, it's a nice phone. It is pretty stunning in this size. Comes in a couple of colors. We had the silver one. We have the goldish looking one. We've got a black and a white. My favorite color this time around has been the silver titanium color. Oddly, that's the one I thought looked kind of cheapo, kind of chrome before, but I have to say that I kind of like it these days. Which would you get, the Note 5 or the S6 Edge Plus, and which one feels like more of an upgrade instead of a downgrade? Let me know. This has been Erica, the technology nerd who likes to film stuff. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Note 5 video too, and have a good night, everyone.